Hello everybody and welcome to another Stellaris video. Today I wanted to share with you guys a very strong build that utilizes space fauna and the new Purity Ascension government with nucleic judiciary in order to make really ridiculously strong fauna fleets. Here you can see that we have basically 100k at year 39 and a very strong economy producing 2,700 food in order to make as much more ships as we need. We have strong armies ready to go. Yeah, a very powerful build. We're also making 3k tech and a good amount of unity. Most of our tech is concentrated in society, but society is the tech tree that unlocks our ship strengths, right? So like our upgraded amoeba mothers, and with the exceptional rarity we get really strong bonuses as well. So how do we play this build, and what makes it so strong? Well, um, hello everybody and welcome to a new Stellaris video. As you can see here, we have almost 100,000 fleet strength, and it's just year 39 in the game. And this build is basically using the Fauna ships, which is probably the strongest ship set in Stellaris for multiplayer and early to mid game. That is like before like year 80. As the raw ship numbers that you're able to produce with this build outpaces basically every other build in the game. From here on out, we're going to be able to continuously pump out ships, as the upkeep and everything of these ships is mostly food, right? Instead of energy credits, which means just by having one very dense farming world, you're able to sustain an absolutely enormous military, and you can build star bases and, for me at least, get back a military governor with expanding the council in order to maximize our ability to build up our navy here. In addition, we have a solid tech and good unity, and this is only on 5 planets as well, so you don't need some crazy spawn to play this game. So how have we done this, and what is the build? So let's go ahead and start a new game, and let's take a look at the build here, which is the GMO cat girls. I call them GMO because this is going to be overtuned. And I'm going to be using anglers and beastmasters. There is many different ways to play this build, and I'm going to be using xenophile and fanatic spiritualist. Xenophile is basically to give me the option of taking the really broken civic or tradition pick, xenocompatibility, which gives ridiculous pop growth when combined with something like Genesis guides, and that's for if I want to do a peaceful playstyle, and fanatic spiritualist to rush unity basically. And if I want to play a military playstyle, Xenophile isn't going to stop me, and Militarist is a nice bonus, but we don't really need it. For our pops, basically the only important trait is Seasonal Dormancy. Everything else is kind of whatever. We use Fleeting Excellent to get a generally good pop, Enduring to offset the leader lifespan so we don't have our leaders die too often, Repugnant because it's almost free, and Aquatic. And of course we're using the Overtuned origin. And shellcraft ships, it's pretty important you select a biological ship set. This will allow you to get like food star bases and food costing colony ships and that kind of thing, and it'll make it much easier for you to have a strong economy in the early game. We're basically going to be playing on a standard multiplayer setting, 0.75 tech unity with standard population growth and difficulty adjusted tech off. We can turn habitable worlds to 1.x2 just to give a more a kind of fully vanilla standard rule set. So let's go ahead and start and see what we get. We get a size 19 Cirrus near us, which is nice, and no other planets spotted so far. And basically all we want to do at the beginning is we want to first divide up our ships into 3 and then go out and scan for our nearby planets. Our Alpha Centauri is all the way out here, which is 2 jumps away, which is a bit annoying, but that's fine. We get Materials Workshop and Dynamics Field Center in our first tech roll, which is very nice. And for our society tree, we'll go with something like food from farmers, as we do not need the society research building very much. We're going to, like most of our builds, go civilian and isolationist at the beginning of the game. And we're just going to sell some energy credits immediately. So let's sell some of those and buy out 200 minerals to start an Autocathon monument this is basically how you want to start any Unity Rush build. And what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to let my economy sit and then slowly start moving all our pops into civilians in order to Unity Rush as fast as we can in what is a pretty economically easy and viable way. So another thing we can do if we want is we can hire another what is this called, commander, to explore out into the galaxy, but we don't really need to do that as I did turn the AI density down, so hopefully we don't spawn next to too many other AIs. I did get boxed in my previous attempt to record this video, so that was a little bit frustrating. So what are our early game goals? Well, quite simply speaking, the early game goal of this build is to build up as much Unity as possible and make sure you continuously buy 40 minerals per month, basically as long as you can. Yeah, you should have like roughly enough trade to keep 40 mineral buy going, but if you need to, you can sell some resources. And you also want to make sure the build queue on your home planet never stops. We're very lucky here. We get a architectural interest governor, which will speed up our builds quite a bit. If you don't get an architectural interest governor, look for a trade focus governor. And if you miss that, well, I mean, it's Stellaris. Sometimes you're unlucky. As with most builds these days, we also open mercantile, allowing our civilians to produce the trade we need in order to convert into Unity, which is obviously our main rush. As when you're playing Overtuned, you need to finish 2 tradition trees, and then on your second perk, you can take your Ascension. So you can take Biomorphosis, and basically the goal with this build is to start the Biomorphosis situation by year 6. As long as year 7 hasn't started, you're on good pace, which means you'll finish the Ascension around year 17 to 18, so it's about 10 years. And then after year 17 to 18, you get like extreme pop growth, you get very efficient pops, and that's basically when you need to rush out the food in order to start building up these fauna ships. So how do fauna ships work? Because I avoided fauna ships for a very, very long time because I didn't really understand them, but it turns out it's not too bad. Essentially, you get a new tab here for your fauna ships, and as you can see, you have a rarity and some stats. As you get upgrades, which all appear in the society tech tree, you'll unlock mutations, which give you extra bonuses to make your ship stronger, and you'll get access to larger ship sizes, such as an amoeba mothership, which is what we're going to be trying to rush for year 30. If we're unlucky, we won't get it, but if we're lucky, we should be able to. Also, you'll get more and more rare species, which have bonus stats as you go on. And in order to check what you have to go to your vivarium. This is where your species are shown. And in order to build rare ones, you counterintuitively have to cull them. And more in this as we find more species we currently have none. But as we play, we should get amoeba spawning near us, which we can then cull or capture with our science ships, and then cull them for their genetic DNA, so that we can clone them and just build them on demand. And basically, by cloning them, it really just means going to your shipyard and purchasing them with food. So, yeah, I was very confused by fauna ships for a long time, but it turns out they're basically just regular ships with a couple extra steps you need to acquire their genetic material, basically. And, of course, we're going to go Marketplace of Ideas. This is going to be our main early game source of Unity, and when this updates, we should have like 150, I believe, something like that. Yeah, so our early game Unity power is definitely not bad with this build. And we're just trying to get those 2 tradition trees done as fast as possible. And you can also play this with conventional like temples and stuff, but I find that even with Death Cult, it's a bit sus in the sense that even though you get pretty good Unity, it's not quite as fast as running an Autocathon monument and then unemploying all your pops. I forgot that's why our Unity is not going up, but as we unemploy all our pops, maybe not all our enforcers, as we are already having not great crime issues. Rising unemployment on Nyaz. Ooh, this is a tough one. I really don't want to get a crime event, so let's select this. Right, and we only have a few unemployed pops, and they'll transform into civilians sooner than later. So let's also unemploy every technician and angler. This will feel very weird if you're not used to this, but it's somehow the best way to play Stellaris. So here's a interesting conundrum: is we're actually going to expand the council first, and then we are going to do evolving society. So a bit out of order, but it works. And yeah, we're paying a lot of consumer goods for these 2,000 unemployed pops. But as soon as they demote into civilians, we'll be okay. Uh, and we'll probably demote these traders later, but for now they're decent because they're actually a good source of Unity jobs. So we can leave them around until we need to delete those buildings for extra space. And yeah, as you can see, we're burning through a lot of consumer goods right now, which does suck. But getting a crime event in your capital is usually not worth it, especially since you have to then manage your civilians very well and they can spiral, which I don't want to happen for the video. And there we go, they finally demoted. And yeah, our consumer good upkeep is now gone. So yeah, ooh, that's a really nice Alpha Centauri. We get a tomb world, but the most important thing, right, is getting enough worlds. It's not getting as many like the specific worlds. And I've completely forgot to start my first colony ship, but you should usually start that as soon as you can possibly do it. So yeah, don't be me and remember to start your first colony ship earlier. Um, it's okay if you've forgotten until now, as yeah, to be honest, you don't need to rush it that hard, and you'll still be okay. So let's also just survey these two systems in between and start connecting our little area up. And with 5 planets guaranteed, we should have enough space for everything we need, which is nice. So here's another thing: is we can go executive vigor or something else like one vision. I think we're just gonna go one vision. Extra ethics attraction and 10% extra unity is perfectly fine. Um, and yeah, this is so annoying, but we only have a few unemployed pops here and there, so it's not going to be too big of a deal. And yeah, we just need to focus on kind of building up unity producing buildings and making sure we continue to buy 40 minerals per month, as we want to have as many minerals as possible. If you want, at this point, you can also build another science ship just to scan extra systems quickly, as you do need as many systems as you can get, as you don't want to get locked in a tiny area. You don't also need to go crazy and expand like nothing, but you need space for amoeba to spawn, as there's a small chance that amoeba spawns in your area when you have the beastmasters civic, right? And we want that to happen so that we can collect their DNA. So yeah, it's kind of gruesome, but I really hate that they gave the amoeba names and then you need to call them. It's kind of sad. Um, yeah, anyhow, for our second tradition, it's gonna always be domestication. As see, this is why I wanted to scan a system. Why does the AI always spawn so close to me? That's annoying. Let's figure out which direction they're coming from so we can prioritize cutting them off and not getting ourselves trapped in a little corner, like what happened to me last game, which ruined the entire video. But yeah, I hate spawning near the edge of a galaxy. It often locks you into a little tiny area like this, but that's okay. Also, what happened? Why are we not employing as many pearl divers as possible? And why are we not prioritizing? Why can't we have multiple priorities? Like, oh, I accidentally deprioritized Prius. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to deprioritize traders now. Um, yeah, I guess we can just deprioritize civilians and they'll auto trickle up. But yeah, it's frustrating how you have to do that. Anyways, yeah, I was like, why are we so negative in consumer goods? I was like, that's not what I expect to see at this point. And yeah, Cirrus is now done, so we can go ahead and colonize that as well. Why can't I colonize? I didn't click on the colony ship. And let's colonize that. So yeah, a little bit late on the first colony. And ooh, size 9 Arctic world with a ruined orbital ring. That's a tiny little planet there. What a guy! What a cute little guy! How big would the moon be if Mars is size 13 in this game? Right? Would the moon be like? The moon is not that much. It's like probably half the radius of Mars, something like that. So would it be like a size 5 or a size 6? That's kind of cute, I guess. Like, I wonder what the moon would have to be made of for it to have enough gravity for people to inhabit it without having like gravity related health issues. That's a pretty funny thought, I guess. Let's explore down this branch and this branch of hyperlanes and just see if we can find this AI to make sure we're not getting like attacked by it or something. Or not attacked by it, but just like getting our space taken up, as I hate that when that happens. And we can also play on fast, as this build is not particularly hard, I would say. Although the basic economy is a really poor in the mid game, so you do have to be cautious of that. Also, we're lacking one consumer good, and this is also nice. Sometimes you get events like this, um, which give you extra little boosts in Unity, which, in my opinion, help a lot with actually, doing everything you need to do. Let's not hire that scientist. Homesteader. I guess that'll help in the long run, so let's go ahead and take that and just get this surveying as well. Let's get this over here, and we're just going to take Alpha Centauri. I really want to do it in order to save Unity, or to save Influence, I mean, but we're not going to scan it in time, and I do want to get those colonies up sooner rather than later, as I'm already quite late with them, as I've not been paying enough attention. But yeah, as I mentioned before, like, it's not too important to get them up right away, as the most important thing is just when we finish Ascension. It's honestly far more important than actually, having every planet going as fast as possible. And the Ascension rush is mostly dependent on your capital, right? Like, their capital is where the Unity is, so yeah, nothing to worry about there. Let's also replace this with a Spiritualist Enclave, right, as that's kind of the last thing we need to do before we get ready to start building the Genomic Research Center, which is once we click Ascension after we finish 2 more traditions, which should be pretty soon now. So yeah, let's also get as many ships scanning as possible. Let's pre-send this colony ship over to Alpha Centauri, as we want to get that up as soon as possible. And ooh, we also spot another size 24 tomb world. So there's a lot of tomb worlds here, and tomb worlds actually aren't too bad, as we can get like 60% habitability on them after Ascension without any hassle, and we could probably get even more if we're bothered to fine-tune the traits on our pops. So yeah, like these are just like nice large planets for us to work with. This should be a generator world. Like, what else do we have? We have tomb world. With this should be a mineral world. This tundra world, and then that means Cirrus should be our food world. And then we just stick tech onto wherever we can get it, I guess. So probably like the rest of Alpha Centauri will be dedicated to tech. And one other planet that we find should be designated to tech. Maybe just this random tomb world here or something like that. It's honestly not too important to make sure you mini-max the order of that kind of thing too much. And also, as you notice, we've stopped producing extra Unity. That's because in 3 months' time, we'll have finished the situation and we won't need the extra Unity anymore. So yeah, not bad. Let's take a look at these 2 planets and just quickly decide what we want to do with them. Right, as this tundra world, we definitely want to colonize basically immediately, as we want to get our mineral world going as soon as possible. Right, and then we can build a couple energy districts in Alpha Centauri and then quickly convert it to a tech world, as we're going to need as much tech as possible. And we developed voidlers already, which is very nice. And we can start Biomorphosis, and you want to, with your first pick, select cloning. With your second pick, you want to pick purity, and with your last pick, you want to pick mutation. So in case you've never done the Biomorphosis situation before, how it works is you have 3 picks that determine what your actual tradition tree is going to look like, which is a pretty unique thing. And basically, you always want to pick cloning as your first option for this build, at least, because it simply boosts your pop growth by quite a bit. At least as soon as you finish the Genomic Research Center. So let's go ahead and start building that right away. That'll also let us do the situation as soon as it pops up. And we're going to do the same thing on our colony and the same thing on Alpha Centauri when it's done. And we're even going to pre-build a medical center here, as we want to get that going as soon as possible as well. So yeah, anyhow, with that in mind, let's take a look at the other planets we have here. Like, this is a really nice sized world, but I don't really know what to do with it because the habitability is a bit poor, let's just say. And oh yeah, it wasn't the AI making first contact here. It must have been something else. I already missed what it was. So also, let's take this system here, as every time you see a system with good minerals, it's almost always worth taking. Or like, because yeah, like Starbase costs food and a very tiny amount of alloys, so that's one of the important reasons why you want to go with bioships, right? As having food ships is just super, super nice. Oh, we are working a few food workers there. I guess that's fine. Once you start your biomorphosis situation, you actually don't need to unemploy everybody into civilians. You can just have them work their regular jobs, as it is slightly more efficient, and we should have enough unity to finish the entire tradition tree at the end of the biomorphosis situation anyway, if we remember to open Evolving Society whenever that comes up. Not sure whether it's worth clicking Expand the Council here for 1500 unity, but yeah, we're at 99 empire size, right? So we're going to miss the opportunity to skip it if it goes over 100, so let's do that now. Add a Minister of Seas to boost our basic economy a little bit, and then open up Evolving Society to get that unity boost as soon as we can, and that will help us very, very much. And wow, the first building completes much faster on my colony than my capital. I don't know why. Oh, it's actually faster on my capital because I have the architectural interest, but it's normally faster the other way. I think the new colonies get like a building bonus speed or something. It must be something like that. I don't really know. What's over here? Let's make first contact with that as well. And yeah, as you can see, we're doing perfectly fine here. We have an extra colony ship going in, and now it's just about picking one of these tomb worlds. I guess this is also a size 24 tomb world, so I guess I'll just colonize it, and it'll just be a really inefficient tech world that will develop up later. And every time you see the farming subsidy tech, never skip it. Take it right away. A lot of the time, you won't get another chance to take it if you skip it. So, yeah, be very cautious about that. And let's also just open with engineering research. As our engineering research, take a look at this. It's currently 13. Not the best. And yeah, the majority of our society tech is also coming from these genomic researchers too, which is pretty cool, to be honest. And one thing you can do when you're done is just build up extra civilian industries. You'll never regret it, as it can be a real hassle to try to keep up with that. Let's actually cancel this for now, though, because I just realized we finished this world here, and it also needs a genomic research facility. This is where we want to probably cash in some of this trade in order to start these buildings right away, as we want as much genomic research as we can get. And we can even let other planets sit unbuilding, which is something you rarely want to do, if it means prioritizing your genomic research centers, as it also speeds up the situation. As you might have noticed at least, it started at 15 speed and now it's at 16.5. Now that we have 2, and it should go up to like 17.1 when we get another one, so it's a small bonus to the research speed. Oh, and there we go. We got our first batch of spaceborne amoeba spawning within our borders. And basically what you want to do is you just want to take a science chip and you want to cancel everything and tell it to just capture space fauna. And it'll throw this little Pokeball net towards the amoeba. Oh, it's going to run away. It's going to get there in time? Oh, is it going to follow through the next hyperlane? I've never seen what happens when the amoeba moves. Is it going to follow all the way through, or is it going to fail? Oh my god, is the Pokeball going to chase, or did it just fail? Oh no. Oh no, the Pokeball net is still going, I think. Sabotage at Clone Planet. We don't want to slow down the situation, so click the other one. Oh, and I think we caught it. Nice. It was a common space amoeba mother, right? And basically when you catch something, you can just go ahead and cull the specimen, right? And that will give you some DNA, so you can now build that ship as soon as you get the necessary text for it, at least. And yeah, we're just going to want this ship to chase around this this amoeba and just keep throwing nets at it to capture all the amoeba, basically, at this point. And yeah, we can just also just focus up on building up these planets and building up a civilian industries, as we will need that sooner rather than later. And we're pretty unlucky. We don't get very good mineral systems around us, but that's okay. We can just slowly build out anyway and not worry too much about that. Also, you might have noticed I've left my tradition unpicked. We're going to wait until the situation is done to fully finish the purity ascension tree and use that broken purity government that I hopefully pointed out at the beginning of the video. If I didn't, oops. But yeah, we're going to be going for a dictatorship government, as it's very, very important for this build. And yeah, for the second pick, we're going to focus on purity, as it really helps our pop speed quite a bit. Oh, and here we go. We get our first Fauna mutation tech, and you always want to take those when you see them too, as we need to get the tier 2 of that to unlock a very efficient ship for year 30. So that is definitely something we want as well. And we get into nanomechanics as well. Very, very nice. And we find Zeracorp. So let's see which resource they're trading. It's gases. Ooh, 10 for 1. I think we want to do that. As getting gases is very important for this build, and it's very, very powerful if we can get it early enough. So yeah, if we get lucky with our society techs now, we can get some really early upgraded medical centers, which should be pretty strong to be honest. So let's go ahead and aim for that as well. I think that could be pretty nice. Because normally you need the tech, right, before you can build gases. And the problem with this build is, quite frankly, the tech is really bad. So it can be problematic trying to get the tech up sometimes. And as you can see, our Unity has also dropped a lot. Ooh, trade an official for 2,000 Unity. Which official is this? Let's do it. Let's do it. You know, the reason I did it is because our good governor stays alive, right? And we get 2,000 Unity. And 2,000 Unity is not small, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take that as well. Yeah, there's 2 planets over here. Why is there so many tomb worlds? I wish there was other worlds, but let's see how our Pokeballs are doing too. Let's see what we've discovered. We've discovered a rare amoeba mother and a common regular amoeba. You can just go ahead and call these for some mediocre research bonuses. Yeah, hopefully we find something that spawns in our systems that is exceptional, right? As those exceptional amoeba are really, really powerful. And let's also see if we have any nebulas near us. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it. If you have a nebula, you can build a Voidler, which is a starbase building. And yeah, basically these Voidlers attract amoeba to you, and yeah, it's a very, very nice way to get good bonuses to that, and or a lot of amoeba in one place that are easy to capture. So yeah, this is going to be a decent tech world, to be honest. But we need one of these planets to be our food world, probably the larger one. Ooh, did I accidentally start the larger one as our tech world? Okay, we'll just use the size 16 as our food world. Not a big deal. Neither of these have negative food modifiers, so wait, is this size? Okay, the size 16 is the energy planet. I guess we can just yeah, I guess we'll just have a couple planets which are both half food, half tech, I guess. Alright, this one needs to be half energy as well. So yeah, it's a bit tough to be honest. We can even use our capital for some food. We can just stick food on every planet that looks convenient for it, to be honest, at this point. So yeah, let's do that, to be honest. And yeah, I guess we don't necessarily need the specialization districts to be maxed out. So instead, we can just use these for tech, right? As we don't want our techs to fall too far behind. So yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And yeah, here's the problem where we start to run into energy credit problems. As yeah, you can see we're negative 28 now on energy credits, so that's a little bit bad. Even though we are working our energy credit jobs and all that stuff. So I forgot to turn Veneration of Saints. That's so silly. And food subsidies. We've had food subsidies for a long time for just 3 Unity, so I think that's worth it for sure. And yeah, as you can see, yeah, that's a good solid boost to that. Yeah, I think we want to run this as a dedicated tech world too. But for now, we'll just put 2 genomic labs on it, and we're not going to build anything on it until we're done Biomorphosis, as I do believe it'll be a bit too inefficient to build on a world like this for now, as we have like 0% habitability. For our last selection for part 3 of this evolutionary crossroads, mutation, right, it is a little confusing because before I click it, it still says 2 on the situation, so I've messed it up before, because like I want for situation 1, I want cloning, for situation 2, I want purity, for situation 3, I want mutation, right? Except the number it says on the situation is like 1 less, so do be careful about that. I messed that up and made some completely crazy nonsense build before, so yeah, do be careful about that, as it's easy to mess up, and I've definitely messed that up before, so yeah. Also, I think this was the world I want to turn to a mineral world, which I do want to get going as soon as possible. As you can see, minerals are a big restriction to us building up as fast as we can. Another thing we can do is this will hurt our unity a lot, so it's a little bit scary, but you can turn marketplace of ideas to wealth creation in order to like rescue your energy credits if it's in a really bad situation like we are. And I think that's probably not a bad idea here. So yeah, let's do that. And we can stop buying food, obviously. We really should have done that a lot earlier. I completely forgot to stop buying food. Um, oh yeah, so here we get a nice thing that advances our biomorphosis situation by 50. Every time you see something that advances the situation, I think that is always worth clicking. Um, so yeah, that's awesome. We can even take genetic tailoring now. Or what is this called? Genetic trawling, right? Yeah, because yeah, if we find any more amoeba, it'd be very nice to get all their DNA. And yeah, they should spawn in your area, I believe. It's just a matter of luck. Surviving infrastructure. Oh, that's nice. Let's see if we can just resettle some pops that are civilians over here as well, just to fill up the genomic researcher jobs, and if not everything like anything else. And let's take a look at this, right? On our 100% habitable worlds, 10 pop growth, of 7 and 6.7, right? And even on these low habitability, oh, we're getting absolutely zero pop growth. Never mind. Even with the genomic researchers. Okay, I guess when you're multiplying by zeros, you still get zero pop growth. 100 Cacro pops die. 38 plus 2. 5. It's only for 5 years. Okay, I guess we'll just keep the researchers for now then. And we get colonial centralization, which is a very nice tech. As you can see, we've already built up 25,000 foods, so we're about to overcap. So remember to build up some starbase stations, and then build storage in them, as that's probably an easier way to deal with the excess food than it is to build ships out of it or something like that, right? So yeah, and as you can see, we really are lacking enough minerals to keep up with our buildings. A lot of it is me also just forgetting to queue enough buildings, as it is a little bit tough to remember to do everything that you're trying to do when you're also talking over a video, right? So please forgive me for playing not optimally efficiently. But yeah, this does tend to happen when recording a lot, so yeah, no worries there. Yeah, I think we're just gonna put like food on every planet as like a side thing, like that we fill up all the other districts with. And yeah, for our last thing, make sure to select purity. And now we should have, what is this? Planetary infrastructure build speed. Treat the study, and yeah, that sounds like the more reasonable thing to do. And yeah, hopefully we left ourselves with enough unity to finish this tradition tree. We're a little bit short, 23 months short. So we should have focused on society just a little bit more. Oh, and I realized why we're going so fast. It's because we're in fast. Yeah, doing a video in fast is probably more entertaining for you guys, but it is very easy for me to mess up the build. So it's a bit of a trade-off there, I guess. Like, we're already overcapped on food. It went so fast. And yeah, we'll just build some starports and stuff. And yeah, hopefully that doesn't overcap too badly. Yeah, well, I think we'll just wait the 23 months for that last bit of tech as well, as we do definitely need it. We can just pass the time by clearing some garbage patches and building some capital buildings and such like that. Everything is a-okay. And yeah, just whenever you get a research like this, you don't want to open the tech tree too much. It is really a pain. The tech weights of the bioships are extremely high, and you don't need any of the bioship tech because fauna ships are actually fully distinct from bioships, which is a little bit confusing. But yeah, that's apparently how it works. So yeah, don't be me and don't research the bioship techs unless you're forced to, as it also does happen. So if that happens, also don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Anyhow, how long until our purity tree is finished and we can go modify our pops? A few months. So yeah, we definitely messed up there a little bit. This will delay our build by a couple years, but yeah, I guess you need to focus on Unity and not switch your government over to wealth creation just for an extra few years, and then you'll be okay. But yeah, I switched it over a little bit early, Not a big deal. It's like 14 months or something, right? And yeah, we'll just also fill out these labs here. I think what we'll do is we'll fill out both specialization with labs, and then we'll just build the agriculture district, and we won't build too many city districts on each of these planets. It's a bit inefficient to do so, but if we had more planets or more time, we could then fully specialize our planets. But we're not lucky enough to have like a single, like a tropical world or any wet world, right, which would give us better habitability than a tomb world, right? Like, we're not even getting pop growth on this ice world here, as we are still aquatic, right? So that should be fixed very soon after we finish Ascension. And our energy credits are also fixing themselves, as you can see, so we can even stop buying those. And yeah, I mean, yeah, we zero pop growth right now, but yeah, 8 months later, that should be fixed. Can we upgrade this? Lacking colonial centralization. What do you mean? What? Oh, right, this already has a capital upgrade. No, wait, no, it doesn't. Did I not research colonial central? Am I going crazy? I did. Oh, we're lacking minerals. Um, that's a much more explainable situation. Okay, let's just buy some minerals. I was like, what? I swear I have some minerals. Like, it was like speed up our unity a little bit, right? That was my thinking. Yeah, I guess I'll make this a dedicated research for engineering planet, and the other one can be dedicated for physics. Although we'll still share some like buildings like the dynamic center and that kind of thing. We can also later on move the dynamic center to a support district, but for now we can leave it on the capital there. And come on, when is this done? 3 months. I messed this up pretty badly, as yeah, finishing the purity tree is super important, as it gives us the access to the really broken purity government, and getting this 2 months earlier or 2 years earlier, I mean, would definitely have helped a lot, as it gives you free society research from your pops, right? Absolutely incredible. Super broken, right? So yeah, there we go. Embrace the new government type, which you get immediately as well. You can also pick any trait you want. I'm just going to go with Galactic Force Protection to pretend that we want to militarize for year 30. Well, that's what we're going to do, obviously, but like I haven't even found anyone that we can fight yet, so we might not be fighting anyone. But yeah, as you can see, we immediately jump up in society tech, which is why we also want to focus these colonies so much on other techs. And also, now you can go to your species, create a template. You want to remove aquatic. And then we can add some nice traits in. So robust will give us plus 30% habitability everywhere. Since we have so many tomb worlds, I probably want to find a second habitability trait. So excessive endurance could be pretty good. And then we want to get rid of seasonal dormancy, as we don't really need that anymore. And we can even get that and put erudite in, just so our leaders don't die like instantly. Where is erudite? Oh, we do also want to get Vacrone, so let's put Vacrone in. And then we need a -1 again, so I guess we're putting on Ruli back in. In and out and in and out, I'm sorry. Where is erudite? No, not erudite, venerable. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Right, so that will offset the excessive endurance. And then we just need to find something nice. Bioadaptability, sure. And that should give us 100% everywhere. You can make a specific species for every planet, and it is better. I just could not be bothered to do so, so we're going to set that as default. Then we're going to come to our original species and let them integrate into our main species. And if you want to speed this process up, you can even apply this template and do the research project, as it's relatively fast, but we don't really need to do that. So perfect. Now we should also start to see some pop growth here. Yep, we immediately start to get some pop growth, which is very nice. And we can even resettle a few regular cat girls in here just to speed that up a little bit as we get more genomic researchers. And it'll give us a slightly higher base pop growth and kind of get the ball rolling in some of these planets. And like this planet, like, yeah, we resettle some cat girls over. Turn them into genomic researchers. Nope, they're not wanting to be genomic researchers. I don't know why. It's also deprioritize the old factory. You don't want any pops to die in there. And yeah, there we go. Now we are starting to move, as you can see. Like, it really gets rolling really quickly once you take that genetic perfection. Also, I no idea how long this amoeba has been there, but I have not noticed it. I really don't like that you have to refresh the capture space fauna on all your planets every time you do this, as they don't seem to do that automatically. And why do we only have 60% habitability? Excessive endurance, minimum species habitability. Should that not be 90%? Huh? Or do we... what? Is there something I'm not understanding here? Like, this is 70%. Who knows? Who knows? It'll get up to 100 later on. As you can see, we're at 16 pop growth now, which is amazing. Um, so yeah, let's take a look at how much we're getting on these planets. 15, 15, and 17. So yeah, that's more than enough. That's basically clone army on every planet, right? And it's going to go up to like 30 as we develop it and add clone vats and such. And yeah, we also do need to replace this now with just a civilian industry, as our consumer goods are going negative and we don't want to deal with it getting more and more negative over time. So we want to do that. Another thing we want to do is just sell some of our really excessive amount of food, just to speed up our mineral production a little bit for now. And then we'll focus on food as we get closer to 2240 or 2230, as yeah, that's our kind of our deadline for for building up good species and good amoebas, right? So yeah, are you still throwing out gravity snares? Yes, you are. Let's take a look at what we've caught. Discoveries, only commons so far, pretty unlucky. Hopefully we catch something good soon, and we can also colonize this last planet here. Why not? Yeah, I'm pretty confused as to why our habitability is not perfect on some of those planets, but hey, I don't want to think about that too much. So, sell like 2,000 more food. 2,000 food is really not a lot. We produce like 300 food a month, so yeah, let's get a second engineering district here and a second physics one here. It'll give us more building slots for tech labs and stuff. And then we want to fill up all the actual city districts with agriculture districts. I mean, like instead of building city districts to get, 200 physicist jobs per city district, we'll just do agriculture because we will need a lot, and we continue to only find commons, which kind of sucks. But we're also pretty unlucky in the sense that we've covered a pretty large area, and we haven't found any like systems like Ort or Tirnavec or even a nebula to build a lure in. So that's not too lucky, but hopefully we can find something at least epic for year 30. If not, whatever, it does happen, right? So not a big deal. Sometimes I've only like culled one or two specimens and you get some, and sometimes like, oh, here's another amoeba. Nice. Where's our science ship? You were all the way over there. Go launch some gravity snares at that. Oh. Let's just, yeah, benefits, I guess. There's going to be a little bit of difference in specialists before they swap over to other roles like civilians, which is annoying, but hey, happens every single time. And I think this mining world should be ready for a upgrade as well, right? This is actually a pretty good mining world. And then this we're going to turn into yet another tech world, but it's not quite ready yet. Oh, we get destroyer scale space fauna cloning, so that's good progression. If we get one more tech after that, we're going to get like, it says battleship scale, but it's kind of more like cruisers, to be honest. I don't even know. It could be more like destroyers. I'm definitely not a fauna expert, but yeah, the ship numbers get so big that against AIs at least, I would say AIs are simply just uncompetitive with the fleet sizes you can make, and they don't obviously counter your ships. In fact, AIs really love kinetic weapons, and fauna have no shield, so as you can imagine, that is not a very good matchup. So yeah, the AIs lose hard, really, really hard to the fauna ships, where some players, if they know what they're doing, will be able to give you a hard time. And we can just cut into our unity here as well, as we're not good. I've never been able to actually finish supremacy for year 30, so it's not too important to do so. You'll finish it like year 35 or whatever you do. So yeah, if you need to cut into your edict fund in order to sustain, your basic economy, I think it's worth it. As trying to figure out your basic economy is really annoying. So yeah, that's never really too worth it. And yeah, I think we're just going to let this world mostly sit here until we can build up a stable enough miner economy to focus on that. And yeah, it's really nice also having one species that's habitable everywhere, as you don't have to worry about like relocating the wrong species to the wrong location or something like that, which can be a bit of a problem sometimes. Um, yeah, also, yeah, we just continue to cycle the tax here as we are trying to roll those very large amoeba ships, and we can even start to get ready. We can build a couple vivariums in case we need to find more different amoeba types. Let's launch some gravity snares at this as well. You can capture space fauna too. Everyone can capture space fauna. Should be pretty good there. And let's see if we've found anything good. Ooh, perfect. A space mother amoeba who is exceptional. So let's call that, and hopefully we get the tech to build them for year 30. We might be a little late, but it should happen if we're lucky. Capture attempt failed. Okay. Yeah, just continue to cycle the society tech. As you can see, our society attack has already jumped over 1,000. Yeah, it scales really fast, as you can see, as it just scales with the number of pops, right? And when you have like just good pop growth everywhere, even on a tomb world, right? 75% habitability now. We don't have too many problems with that. So yeah, as you can see, also we are running out of storage space for food once again. I think we'll just sell some for now, as I don't really want to build some really suboptimal ships, but we also can, I guess. So, species, fleet manager, space fauna. I don't believe we have access to the larger ships yet. We need a couple more techs. So hopefully we hit them. Or even, I don't even think it's a couple. I think it might just be one more tech. And yeah, I guess for now we'll just spam out some more star bases and use those to store some more food, I guess. Store some more food. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this shouldn't be a big deal. Oh, yeah, we finally have to research one of those, so there we go. And I guess we could go with perfection protocols now. That'll give us a nice bonus to pop growth speed, to be honest, so let's go ahead and do that. So let's start building up our city. We can also eventually turn on alloys, right, as we will need some alloys for, just basic economy stuff, and yeah, our minerals are also getting pretty good with this nice mineral planet here. Do keep in mind, if you get really unlucky and you're on 3 planets, you just have to double up on the rolls of your planets, and each one of them will lose a lot of efficiency, and you won't really be able to hit the same numbers. But do keep in mind, no matter what habitability planets you do happen to find, just go ahead and colonize them, right? And let's also see if we happen to find any rare regular-sized fauna ships. We don't. So if we take a look at this is our regular-sized fauna. Oh, it's already exceptional. Okay, perfect. Well, we could start building them, but I want to find the 3 bonus mutation slot tech, which is just a society tech that we need to hit. And we'll probably give up on trying to find it like year 27 or something if we don't have it then. And, ooh, another space amoeba. We can call that and get some physics research. You don't need to call them. You can turn on auto call and that kind of thing as well, and it's perfectly fine. Let's also get a second engineering planet. Look at we have the equivalent of 300 engineering tech, of 300 total tech if it was just engineering now, which is just funny. The like vast difference in engineering tech we have, and ooh, I said I wasn't going to build city districts, but I guess I lied. I'm super greedy for tech. I'm super greedy. Probably not the best idea, as I do need to start scaling up one of these worlds for food soon. Let's build a food processing facility here, as your homeworld starts with 4 districts, so you might as well use them, right? Might as well use them efficiently. Right. It's just so hard to find enough minerals to keep everything going, but yeah, we'll make it work. I will just take the cheapest tech there, even though it unlocks a whole new branch of techs. By the way, a Stellaris 4.0 tech tree is also out. I will try to remember to link it in the description. I'll probably forget. But yeah, we can finally take a look at what techs unlock what, and yeah. How much actual society tech do we have? 1,150 already. Right, and the more pops you get, the more society tech you get, right? So it's just all fun and games, to be honest. It's really awesome. And take a look at this, 11.5. This is why I also like taking mercantile, as you will start stacking up civilians on every planet at some point, no matter what. And at that point, you really want to have those pops be able to do something, right? And we keep in mind we haven't even found the cloning vat tech yet, so like all these pop numbers, like 13, are going to be way better once we have cloning vat tech. And even still, right, we're piling up civilians everywhere, despite mostly keeping every planet upgrading whenever possible. Obviously, we miss some time. We're not perfectly efficient, but it's pretty good. It's definitely pretty good. We don't miss too much. So yeah. Yeah, also, as you can see, we're kind of still running short on minerals despite producing 250, and we finally get access to rare resources as well, which is always really important. And yeah, it's coming up on our deadline for the exceptional motherships as well, so we'll probably look to create like some starter ships without that. We'll just go with like flagella swarmers. We didn't even research speed, and I don't think shields or armor are really worth it, as these ships have such terrible shield. Like take a look at this shield. I know it's level 1, but it's like 35 shield. It might as well not be there. So just go glass cannon and just go like more strike craft or more damage. Uh, like you want to overwhelm with pure numbers and just try not to run into too much like pure laser or plasma or like early protons or something like that. But yeah, if you don't run into those things, you'll be having a great time. And even if you do, you can just overwhelm them with just pure numbers, as well, your production is going to be so good. And it's time to start building up agriculture everywhere as well. So let's start doing that, as we are definitely going to need more food for year 30 than what we have, as these ships are quite expensive. And the other thing we want to do is we want more beast ports. We need to get a second planet with at least 2 beast ports, or second star base, I mean. And yeah, let's go ahead and select a next civic here. There's a lot of options. Genesis Guides is a fun one if you're playing more like less aggressive. And what do we want here? I usually like to just go functional architecture. Just make sure your building speed is as high as it can get, and you also save um, some time, right? As building time is a big restriction for build speed. And remember to put a Minister of Season and a Beast Lord. This is a relatively expensive, as you have to miss something important, like you don't get your planetary architect in, which does suck. But hey, I mean, it is how it is, and you just have to work with it. Anyhow, what do we want to do here? I guess we'll just build that tech world here. Just build some labs. And then on this mining world, want some more mineral districts. And yeah, we don't hit the thing. So let's build a first batch of ships without like just this NAS design here. It does kind of suck, but hey, at least we'll have some ships ready, and we can upgrade them when we find better tech. So let's go ahead and just make like, I don't know, 5k worth, which is apparently 31,000 food, right? Which is also why you want to remember to scale up your food whenever you can, which is what we're definitely starting to do now. So let's get that started, and let's also get some genomic research facilities for our new planet here. And this will probably be our energy planet. As you can see, we're starting to run a little bit low, so you're definitely also going to need way more than 300 food per month. We're probably going to want, ideally, if we're lucky, or no, if we're lucky, I guess it's if we're skilled, like 1,000 food at year 30 and like 2,000 by like year 35. And it's not too hard, to be honest. So let's go ahead and just start working towards that. And we get combat computers too, which can help. And yeah, just keep mining districts coming out here. And yeah, we're just not getting too lucky on the society rolls. In fairness, we only have 3 society tech rolls, which means it is really subject to RNG, right? So you can't be too mad if you get bad RNG, because you didn't get very many throws of the dice, right? Let's hope we get the tech for the video though. And yeah, these techs do also fly by. We're probably getting close to 2,000. No, we're only at 1,250 society tech. I guess um, I guess that's the downside of having not found clone vats as a tech yet. So our pop growth speed is not fantastic, and the number of pops is the driver of our tech, right? In case you missed it, nucleic judiciary, society research produced from pops plus half, very very nice. We get some extra naval cap here. This is a faster tech, so it's honestly probably worth clicking. 220 naval cap is already enough, so we don't have to worry too hard about that. Yeah, let's also remember to keep all these agriculture districts busy. Aquaculture, and also get some extra beast ports online, as we're going to need more of those. And preferably we can even get another system with 2 beast ports, as we don't have Star Fortress yet, which, you know, we do have really, really poor engineering tech, right? Which is why we want to dedicate so many worlds to engineering tech, but they do take a while to build up, which is nothing to feel bad about. It's kind of just the way the cookie crumbles. Yeah, as long as we keep going, and we're 335. Oh my god, that's such a ridiculous amount of minerals. Now we can stop buying minerals. I think we need to buy some energy, as this energy planet is not quite online yet. So let's start to work towards that. Let's just move a few cat girls over to get the population ball rolling. And also let's build a medical center, as we're definitely going to need that at some point. And yeah, let's build this as well. Heritage site. Yeah, it looks like we're just not getting the society rolls we need, but as you can see, we've already produced a decent sized fleet at year 27, right? It was a lot of time to build this up, and we can just max this out, to be honest. And we can just upgrade them if we hit the good upgrades. But we don't want to be, if we're pretending that we're going to fight a year 30 war, we don't want to be underprepared, right? So, yeah, anyhow, let's go ahead and just keep building up this food production, right? We're going to need as much as we can get. Let's cancel that lab and just build aquaculture on these, because we're already a little bit late on that. Resources from jobs, sure, that's a long tech. Do I want to do that? Is there anything shorter? There's a 2000 here. Let's just do that. Elder Mauler. The weight on these society techs is really, really high for bioships, which really, really clogs up the research, which is really annoying, to be honest. But it's better than having to pay full price alloys for everything, right? As full price alloys are really, really expensive, to be honest. And as you can see, our society tech, or not our society, our Unity has kind of screeched to a very slow pace. But don't worry, as your pop growth speeds up, which it will, right? Right now it's 12, which is really bad. But we're tier 1 medical center. We never researched tier 2 medical center, which is also very unlucky. Oh, is that because we never researched? Oh, I think it's because we never researched gas tech. Because we're getting gases from buying it. Yeah, so we never got. No, I think you can roll the tier 2 medic building tech without gas tech. So we're just unlucky, I guess. Whatever. That happens, you know, just keep calm, carry on, and things will work out. So yeah, that's another thing that we've been quite unlucky on, to be honest. So yeah, hopefully we find that soon. And yeah, we are not finding it soon, so unlucky, but alas, like, we're still building up our fleet decently fine. Oh, and here we go. Exotic gas refineries. There we go. That should give us the techs we need, and energy generation here as well as resettling a few pops. And that should get our energy credits back towards like a sustainable level pretty soon. And yeah, let's just build some of those buildings up. Yeah, this mining world, how are we doing on pops here? I reckon, yeah, there's some space for extra pops there, so. Oh, finally, gene clinics, yeah. I've definitely rolled gene clinics before I finished gas tech, I feel like, before. It might actually be dependent, and I'm just imagining things, but yeah, who knows. Also, we can finally start to build some of these rare resource districts as well, though we do need some more consumer goods, so we got to be careful about that and start building up some of these industries as well. And yeah, let's get these gene clinics going too, as they will massively boost our pop efficiency, our pop growth speed, everything good, and we finally get clone vats as well. But yeah, as you can see, we've really dodged the good society techs for our ships, right? So we're kind of stuck with this suboptimal year 30 fleet, which does kind of suck for this video, but we should be able to hit it in the next few years. So I'll definitely show that, as well as we try to emulate what can happen on a game gone wrong, which this kind of is, as we messed up our Unity earlier. Um, right, because we're a couple years late to all the timings because we ascended a couple years late. So yeah, we're also a couple years behind in society tech, and we didn't get lucky, if I'm being honest. So yeah, what are we at society tech now? 1450, right? 1450 society tech, and we're just trying to find like one or two specific ones, which we just keep missing. So yeah, I guess we'll just pick the relatively cheaper tech that's still useful, and yeah, just try to get it. We'll get it at some point, I'm pretty sure. So there we go. And this is why we take functional architecture too. As you can see, the build speed on our planets is a big limiting factor, and we don't want that to hold us back too far. So yeah, build speed is really, really important. And yeah, this is only a half full fleet, right? And as you can see, it's already not bad. It's not weak at this point already. So yeah, 10k, 55 naval cap is not bad. But of course, it could and should be a lot better. So yeah, let's try to get that as soon as we can. Beastport. Yeah, this will just give us like some extra build speed, as we're kind of lacking on that, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, we'll just keep building up these planets here. Everything should be fine and good. Aquaculture, yeah, as we pass over to year 30 now, like, hey, is it possible somebody will have a large enough fleet to at your doorstep ready to defeat you? Yeah, it's possible. Is it likely? Not really, unless you're playing in a very strong Stellaris lobby. Industrialist, I think, it's probably good here. And yeah, as you've probably known for sure, there's also a ton more optimization to be done. Oh, and there's more amoeba here we can go cull. So let's go ahead and do this. This is what I mean. It's really annoying. They don't remember that they're on capture space fauna, because when the game runs out of space fauna, they just give up instead of periodically check to see if there's new space fauna. I guess that could get really laggy in a big galaxy, but I still kind of wish they didn't just give up, because I don't like microing them. So and also our energy credits are really struggling here, so let's move some more Cat civilians over to fill up these energy credit jobs, and yeah, that should help our energy economy a little bit. Oh, well, that was not as helpful as I thought, but I guess we get some more food techs, so that's always good. Um, yeah, and as you can see, this like year 30, it's like year 30, right? We have 15k still, so that's not bad. And this is without getting the larger fauna ship size. Oh, we have access to that now, but we don't have the 3 mutations that I really, really want. That sucks. Yeah, but we'll get them. We'll get them at some point. I have no idea which combat computer to use, by the way. Like carrier, I don't know. There's a lot of flagella swarmers, so maybe. But I'm not actually sure if that's the best. So please don't copy my ship design if you know better. Whoa. Oh, we ran out of energy credits for Trader Enclaves. Okay, let's try to fix that. Ah, and there we go. See, I knew we were close, but like we just never quite got it with the amount of tech we had, which sucked. But yeah, let's play a little bit past year 30 here to show, like, okay, we didn't get lucky and have what we need. How do we catch back up to what we want? Right, it's not too hard. That's basically what I want to show. Let's build another mining support here, and just continue to build agri-districts wherever we can on these planets, as, yeah, more agriculture. Yeah, this planet I do want to maintain for consumer goods, as we are a little short on that, and let's also build an exotic gas plant, as we're running a little bit low on exotic gases now. And yeah, even still, like, this fleet ended up growing to 20k, which is nice. And yeah, very soon we'll get access to these really nice amoeba mothers in 4 months. With all the mutation slots active, and we can even put the mutation slots on these amoeba too, and replace them, right, which is nice. And we also get starholds, so we can finally not have like 8 star bases everywhere, which is definitely annoying. So yeah, let's remember to put agriculture everywhere. We're up to about, yeah, so just like the 2 years late that our Ascension was delayed from that little mistake in the early game, which is not a huge deal. Um, so yeah, pretty excited. Advanced controlled mutations. And boom. All right. So once you get that, then you can go ahead, go to your fleet manager, Space Amoeba Mother, and you get access to these very, very cool bonuses. They all give huge bonuses. Like if we take a look at the elastic tissue, 35% armor or shield, very, very nice. These synapses, plus 15% fire rate and damage. These berserker glands, 30% armor and hull, or fire rate, like just really, really strong stuff. What is this? Fire controller, sure. And I think we can only have one of each unique mutation, right? So, I mean, we have an extra slot. You can put a shield on it. You can put a Flagelloswarm on it. I've heard glass cannon is better. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's give this a... I really don't know which carrier or combat computer. Sure. And why can't I save this? Let's save this as like Nya or something. What? Why can't I save this? Hello? Uh-oh. Well, I'll be right back as, yeah, the ship designer appears to be pretty buggy because it just crashed my game. So I'll be right back. Alright, as I load back into the game, it also occurs to me it's definitely possible, if not reasonable, to expect that you'd probably have larger fleets with other builds in the game. Oh, don't tell me that the research was not in this. Okay, no, it is. It is. It is. Okay, okay, okay. I was like, no way that the autosave is before the research completed. Okay, Space Amoeba Mother, custom. Let's just select some of these awesome bonuses, put them all in. But why is this? Cannot save. You know, I don't want to mess with that. Let's let time go for a second. Just make sure everything is okay. As I don't want to crash the game again. I don't even know why that crashed the game, to be honest. Space Amoeba Mother, custom. Why won't this save? That's annoying. Do I need a different tech to be able to build a Space Amoeba Mother? Something I'm confused about. Let's go into my discoveries. Maybe I need to call something. I don't know. Well, that's a lot of things. Let's call everything Space Amoeba. Uh, go, go, go. I don't know if this is doing anything. I'm just trying stuff at this point. Like, why can't I save that design? I'm kind of confused, to be honest. Let's try again, I guess. Fleet management, space fauna, space amoeba mother, custom. Like autocomplete, does that work? Still can't save. Why? Why, class? Do I not have access to this yet? Maybe I just don't have access to it yet. Okay, let's go to our little Corvette amoebas, right? Go to the Nyaz and let's modify them to have a much better loadout now. Berserker glands, catalytic. But why can't I click on it if I don't have access to it? You know, let's not think about it. Let's not think about it. Let's save that, as we can save that. Okay, nice. And now we should be able to upgrade these. That's an expensive upgrade. Oh my. Sure. Let's go ahead and do that. Space Amoeba. Very, very confusing ships. To be honest, I will never really quite understand what's going on, what I'm doing wrong. But I'd figure it out if I played more. But I don't play enough Fauna to really know. But yeah, like nowadays there's so many builds in Stellaris, it is very hard to keep up. Right, as a guy who plays the game mostly for fun and just wants to share builds for fun, like I do my best to try to research these builds out and present to you guys something that will be strong for most of you guys in multiplayer. But if you're looking for the absolute cutting edge, right, like stuff that's gonna win in like Montu's tournaments and stuff like that, I'm sure there are better places to go than myself because I am not the best. I'm far from the best Stellaris player. I do qualify for most of Monty's tournaments, but I've never won. I've never come particularly close except for once. And yeah, in addition to that, That was in a much more simpler ship meta and a much more simpler meta in general. And as the game gets more complicated, I would imagine it'll be harder and harder for somebody who doesn't study the meta very carefully to come up with the most broken builds in the game to play. But as you can see, we're still having a crazy amount of. Oh, we don't need to do this anymore. No deal. Is we're still coming up with like really, really fun, strong builds, despite not knowing the absolute pinnacle of the meta anymore. So yeah, hopefully you guys are still enjoying these videos because I enjoy making them. And yeah, I also want to just be transparent with the fact that I do also know that a good player will be able to make much stronger builds than this, right? Like, I get rolled in multiplayer all the time by better military players than myself. So, yeah, do keep that in mind. Also, let's see if we can finally make a Amoeba Mothership design that can save. Yeah, I don't want to crash the game again, right, and click the auto upgrade, but I'm just going to assume I'm missing some kind of tech that doesn't let me build these ships, and hopefully we roll it soon, though, as that'll be very nice. I do want to build some ships, but yeah, like, I don't think this 27k would struggle, right, against very many things from this kind of era in the game, right, and we're still scaling up our food as much as we can as well. So yeah, we're going to continue to scale that way. And if we're lucky enough to roll the tier 2 society tech for food, that would be insane as well. Except for some reason, that one seems to be exceptionally hard to roll. I could not tell you why. But yeah, let's just play on a little farther. And as you can see, as your pops continue to climb, you gain more and more resources as well that way. And yeah, let's also start building some clone vats on planets that we can. Get that extra pop growth speed, and yeah, with the amount of food we're producing, yeah, it's a little annoying to build them because our ship upgrades are eating a lot of our food right now. But you can also imagine how the upkeep is not much of a concern when you're producing as much food as we are. It's like a couple food workers. Energy shortages, oh dear. Yeah, as you can see, we are having some problems with energy sustenance. So, this must be what we're missing. Battle scale fauna. Yeah, it's confusing that you're allowed to click on the thing to try to build it when you can't actually build it yet, I guess. So yeah, thankfully we got that cleared up. And wow, this energy situation is not good. What you can do is just emergency batch sell like a bunch of your rare resources. And yeah, why is this energy production so bad? We need to move some civilians over. Civilians, do you have civilians? Surprisingly, no. Do you have civilians? Surprisingly, no. Wow, we don't have any spare civilians anywhere. Yeah, our pop growth has been really bad. Thanks to the very late clone vats. So hopefully we can fix that now. Yeah, I will say this. Another thing is, for the life of me, I cannot understand what really affects the pop growth speed, because no matter what I do, I get a different pop growth speed every single time I play by a dramatic amount. For example, I've seen one bug where somebody just gets like 150, or like who's getting like 120 pop growth on his planet with the exact same build I'm getting. And I've gotten that same bug too, and I could not for the life of me figure out what causes the bug, or if there's a way to replicate it, or if it's actually intentional and there's just some interaction going on that maybe I don't quite understand. But to be honest, I've never really been able to tell. So yeah, hopefully these clone vats help with our pop growth speed a little bit. Yeah, we're up to 13 now, which is still really poor. I guess we could put like pre-planned growth in or something over some of these habitability traits later on. But I really did want to get the habitability since we have so many tomb worlds. But yeah, I mean, like 13 is still more than enough, kind of in a sense, in the long run. It's just a little bit stressful as we're in this build-up stage, this like very aggressive and fast build-up stage. But yeah, as you can tell, like 15k food now. We can finally go build our fauna ships that we wanted to earlier that we couldn't because we're missing a tech. And it still showed us the ship designer. I don't understand that. Like, how confusing is that, by the way? Like, You don't actually have the capability of building it, but it shows up as a thing you can build. That's very confusing, to be honest. So, yeah, I apologize for that mistake. Hopefully we don't do anything like that again. And now we can build our Nyaz class space amoeba. And I could not possibly name these things anything more confusing. Um, but yeah, I apologize for that. And now we can finally build an actually good fleet, which is really late at year 34. But hey, um, it is early in the play cycle, and I'll get better at these builds hopefully as Stellaris 4.0 goes on. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me just like do some fast forwarding so we can see these ships in action, hopefully, or not in action, but just like popping out and being cool. Yeah, let's take a look at them. To be honest, like nice 25k here, and yeah, very soon we'll have a few more. We do have a crew quarters here, which is good, as this upkeep we don't want to hurt us too much. And what else do we want? I guess we'd probably just finish out Supremacy as fast as we could. Right now, our Unity is not good, as our pop growth is not good, but it'll get better over time, and as we still don't have the uh, third tier, what's this called, medical tech, which of course we'd want to get as soon as we can. If we did manage to get it, that would be great, but it's not happening, so whatever. Also, yeah, I do think species, we definitely want to create another template with another growth trait, as this growth is a really slow, fleeting, excellent, excessive endurance. I guess play here is get rid of excess endurance at this point and just add fertile. I think that's probably good. Where is fertile? Fertile. Oh, I think fertile is incompatible with that growth. So instead, we'll go pre-planned growth, something like this, and just set this as the default template and have these pops assimilate in. Integrate into default subspecies, and that should help our pop growth speed just a little bit. Apparently not. I guess we have to find the correct pop to actually take a look. I really do not like this new pop growth display thing. It is really hard to find the pop that you actually modified to see if it's actually making any difference, and I don't think it is, so we probably just made our pops worse. But yeah, I'm sure somebody in the comments knows what I'm doing wrong. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Even though this was not a well-played round, right? It's just still cool to kind of show you guys the potential in these builds, and hopefully you guys can do a better job playing them. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.